Welcome, folks, back to the Attitude Podcast here, and we're going to discuss New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion pay per view that just happened this morning in America. Another bear, standard bearer pay per view for professional wrestling. A great pay per view from top to bottom. There's been a lot of controversy on social media about some of the things that transpired in this pay per view, some of the moves and matches and finishes to matches. But overall, I thought it was one of the best shows in wrestling that we've had this year. And we're just going to get right into it. Obviously, this is the second biggest show of the year for New Japan. The first being obviously Wrestle Kingdom, their WrestleMania. And we kick things off tonight with the new IWGP United States Champion Jon Moxley, Death Rider, which is his nickname, versus Shota Umino, a young lion, if you guys do not know. I love Mox's theme song, and I'm not sure if that'll be the same theme song he'll use in AEW, because obviously now, I believe AEW owns the rights to all their talents' theme songs, and with, Chris Jericho and the Judas Effect, I believe it's the song Judas, something like that. His theme song has been 100%, it's used by AEW now, so it wasn't even unable to be used tonight with New Japan. So it's crazy to think about, but hey, you never know. After what we found out about Moxley tonight. But a little background for tonight. Dominion the show. It's the second biggest show of the year. If I had to compare it to a show, it'd be SummerSlam. Wrestle Kingdom being their WrestleMania. I haven't been watching New Japan in the recent months. But I'm 100% back in New Japan. I'm going to be reviewing every show, every Road 2 show, every regular show, even just the special shows. I'll be reviewing all of them. So obviously we're kicking things off with Moxley and Umino. Don Callis is back on commentary tonight. He hasn't been on commentary in a while, but yes, the ace, Don Callis, is back on commentary. While Jon Moxley is walking down the ramp, Shota starts off the match and hits it with a suicide dive before Moxley even gets into the ring. Shota then gets back into the ring, hits a drop kick from the top rope, but then Mox takes control. Shota comes back with a German suplex for 2, and then Mox hits one that Pete Dunne full release suplex for 2, which was nasty. Then he hits the double arm DDT, which used to be called Dirty Deeds, but I'm assuming will now be called Death Rider. That Shota sells beautifully, and Mox gets the win. Then he grabs a microphone. That's when things get interesting. He says he brings a message from Cincinnati, Ohio. Jon Moxley, international purveyor of violence, gentleman, and all-around sick son of a bee. Jon Moxley wants in the G1 climax, folks. Jon Moxley. He drops the mic, and the crowd pops hard. And then Mox grabs Shota Umino and brings him to the back, sort of like a show of respect, which was really cool to see. But yes, it seems like Jon Moxley will have a great summer, and he's going to be in a G1 climax. That is going to be something to behold. Okay, folks, we're gonna kick it right off. Wait, we're not. Okay, here we go. Next up, we got Shingo Takagi, the Best of Super Junior finalist who lost to Will Ospreay against Satoshi Kojima. Apparently, Shingo's record going into in that match with Ospreay was 97-0. Ospreay was his first loss in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And this match was actually pretty good. We started off with a lockup. Shingo powered Kojima into the ropes and hit a chop. Kojima goes for a shoulder block, but it does not face Takagi. Shingo comes back and lays out Kojima with a shoulder tackle. Kojima comes back and lays out Shingo with a shoulder block. Shingo rolls to the outside, and Kojima takes him out with a plancha. Yeah, the old guy got some moves. They trade 2 forearms on the outside. They trade forearms all the way up to the referee's count of 19, and both men get back to the ring. Shingo hits Kojima with a punch and chop combo in the corner. Kojima fires back and hits the rapid fire chops in the corner, running forearm to Shingo in the opposite corner. Now on the apron, Shingo hits a Death Valley driver on Kojima, a very nasty spot there. Back up on the apron, both men are, and Kojima plants Shingo with a DDT. Back in the ring now, Kojima hits the Koji Cutter for 2. Kojima props up Shingo on the top rope, then hits a super Koji cutter for a 2 count. Shingo with the back elbow, jab, and clothesline combo. Vertical suplex for Kojima, clothesline by Kojima, and a brain buster by Kojima for 2. Shingo comes back with a DDT. Kojima blocks Shingo with a lariat of his own. Shingo hits a lariat, and Kojima kicks out at 1. Then the crowd started getting hot right here. Rapid fire forearms for Kojima to Shingo. Shingo hits Made in Japan for 2, then hits the Pumping Bomber, followed by the Last of the Dragon for the victory. This match was a lot better than I would imagine it would be. Shingo then asks for a microphone. He says he wants to make waves with the heavyweight division. He says, "You guys know what I'm talking about." And Shingo announces that he wants to be a part of the G1 Climax. Crazy to think about. Now, so far we have Shingo, Moxley, and another man that will be a part, that wants to be a part of the G1 Climax. They made it very clear tonight to make it like something big, like you really want to be a part of the G1 Climax, which you should want to be. Next we got Yoshihashi and Jushin Thunder Liger. Obviously Liger's on his retirement tour right now versus Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. One thing I said, Suzuki and ZSJ should really be a part of the heavyweight tag division more prominently. They should really maybe even be tag team champions right now. You know, instead of keep going back to that Guerrillas of Destiny and Sonata match that we had tonight. I love Suzuki's theme a lot. I did write that down before the match. In true Suzuki Gun style, they attacked Liger and Yoshihashi. Obviously, Liger and Suzuki have a long-standing rivalry from years and years of being in this business. It's been renewed these past couple weeks, and it seems this is going to lead up to a Liger and Suzuki match. I'm not sure when, but soon, I presume. Suzuki rips off the barricade and hits Liger with it. Back in the ring, Zack Sabre Jr. works the arm of Yoshihashi. Suzuki tags in and hits a kick to the back of Yoshihashi, and while the ref is distracted, Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. lock in a Boston Crab armbar combination on to Yoshihashi. Then Suzuki and ZSJ basically take control of this match. Liger gets in. He gets palm strikes to ZSJ and Suzuki. Suzuki and Liger trade chops. Headbutt by Suzuki. Suzuki locks in an armbar and goes for the Gotch style I almost said neutralizer. It's because it's a Cesaro pile driver, but Liger blocks. Liger with a headbutt, brainbuster by Liger. Liger tags in Yoshihashi, and ZSJ is tagged in. Yoshi hits the headhunter on ZSJ. Chopped by Yoshihashi. He hangs ZSJ over the rope and hits a running drop kick. ZSJ locks in the Kimura lock, and then makes a beautiful transition to a Fujiwara armbar. Nobody makes better transitions than Zack Sabre Jr. Liger breaks it up, and comes Suzuki. Suzuki locks in an abdominal stretch, and CSJ does the same to Yoshihashi, simultaneous submissions. Yoshihashi makes it to the ropes, and he lays out Zack Sabre Jr. with a lariat. The two trade strikes and reversals, and Yoshihashi catches Zack Sabre Jr. by surprise with a roll-up for the 1-2-3 victory. This was a huge upset. Going into this match, I was really expecting Suzuki going to get the win, but obviously that did not happen. And Suzuki is pissed, and he was beating down Young Lions, as he usually does on the outside. Next up, we got Bullet Club. This iteration of Bullet Club being Chase Owens, Taiji Ishimori, and Switchblade Jay White versus Juice Robinson, Taguchi, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Obviously, the big story of this match being Tanahashi and Jay White. You know, White just beat Tanahashi at Best of Super Juniors final. That show, we started off things with Owens and Robinson. A little chain wrestling between the two. A sharp elbow from Owens to Robinson's messed up. I remember that was messed up by John Moxley biting him during the match. But Robinson fires back with some strikes and chops. Clothesline in the corner. Commentary playing up a new Juice Robinson, without the dreads. He's serious. He's not as happy and flamboyant as he usually is. Ishimori is tagged in, and then Taguchi is tagged in. Atomic drop by Ishimori. Hip attack in the corner by Taguchi. Bullet Club clears the opposite corner, taking out the opposite, it's New Japan staple. Ishimori tags in. No, sorry, throws Taguchi into the railing. Back in the ring, Owens is tagged in. Switchblade is now tagged in. On the outside, Jay White runs Taguchi into the rail into the apron. Taguchi hits White with the hip attack. Tanahashi is tagged in. Forearms by Tanahashi. Tanahashi clears the Bullet Club corner. Dragon Screw leg whip by Tana. Second rope somersault senton for 2. Chop by Jay White to the chest of Tanahashi. Snap side pluplex. God, I get tongue tied so easily. Suplex by Jay White. All members of Bullet Club in the ring, and they all beat down Tana. Neckbreaker by White for 2. White calls for Blade Runners, reversed by Tanahashi. Chase Owens is tagged, and Owens hits a knee for 2. Super kick by Owens to Juice. Taguchi goes in for a hip attack. Owens moves. Jewel Heist is in a hit by Chase Owens, and Tanahashi gets out, comes back and hits a Sling Blade variation for the victory. So I'm guessing they're gonna continue the feud between Tana and Jay White, but also there might be a new feud for Tanahashi that we'll talk about later. But this match right here was pretty good. It did what it was supposed to do. Gave Tana his first win, made everybody look good. What do you expect? Next up, we have Taichi versus Ishii, and I'm pretty dumb because I guess while I was writing this, I really wasn't paying attention because I wrote Taichi versus Jeff Cobb. But yeah, you know, Taichi was walking around the ring and, you know, playing games. Ishii just laid in the ring and was begging Taichi to come hit him. Taichi started stomping Ishii. He was just acting like nothing was even happening. Ishii gets up. It's a forearm that floors Taichi. Chop in the corner by Ishii. Ishii nails a shoulder block. He throws Taichi's mat, mic, and bag. Obviously, that bag came from Iizuka. Ishii trying to fire up Taichi. The two-man trade strikes. Taichi gets the upper hand with the hard slap. Knees in the corner to Ishii by Taichi. Taichi with a heavy kick to the chest of Ishii. Ishii comes back with a power slam. Enziguri by Taichi. Both men now going back and forth trading kicks. And one thing I wanted to say here, I've never been the biggest fan of Taichi, but after this match, I really had appreciation for Taichi. Axe bomber by Taichi, and down goes Ishii. Huge Saito suplex by Taichi for 2. Ishii hits a big German suplex. Referee is knocked down by Taichi. Headbutt by Ishii. Running lariat by Ishii for 2. Taichi hits a low enziguri followed by the sliding lariat. Taichi does the Gato roll up for 2. Another Axe bomber from Taichi. Stretch plum submission by Taichi. Ishii gets out and Taichi hits a head kick. At this point, like I said, I wrote this down in my notes. I'm becoming a big fan of Taichi in this match. Taichi hits a last ride powerbomb for 2. Enziguri by Ishii. Ishii with the rapid forearms. Lariat from Ishii that flips Taichi for 2. Ishii is fired up. Huge forearm from Taichi. Powerbomb by Ishii followed by the sliding lariat for 2. Vertical drop brainbuster by Ishii for the 1-2-3. Ishii gets the win. And a very underrated match. I wrote here that it was a damn amazing match, and that's true. These men went out and did exactly what they should have. Ishii made Taichi look good, and it's never bad that they put the Neverweight Championship back on Ishii. Next up, we got Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa versus LIJ. And the first thing I wrote here is I hope we get new challengers for this championships after this show. Some of you don't know, Tama Tonga is my favorite wrestler in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he deserves better than that. We'll start off with Tama and Sonata. These two start off trading wrestling holds. Sonata gets the upper hand. Both teams make tags. Evil and Tonga Loa trade shoulder blocks as a test of strength. Evil finally puts down Loa with a shoulder block. Jado hits Evil in the back with a kendo stick as the ref does not see it. The master heater. Tama Tonga knocks Sonata off the apron, and the action has spilled to the outside. Tama throws Evil into the barricade. Back in the ring, Tonga Loa hits a knee on Evil for 2. Tama is tagged in. Like, honestly, Tama Tonga is just, he's such a good talent. Alright, let me stop. Tama is now beating down Evil with strikes. Vertical suplex by Tama for 2. Tonga Loa tagged in, and Gorillas of Destiny hits a double drop kick on Evil for 2. Evil still being beat down by Gorillas of Destiny. Super kick by Evil gives them separation. Double tags by both teams. Sonata takes out Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga. Sonata locks in the Paradise Lock, hits Tama with a drop kick. Sonata goes on a rampage, taking out both Jado and Tama with planchas. Crowd is going crazy for Sonata. Sonata goes for a Frankenstein, but it's reversed by Tonga Loa into a sit-out powerbomb. Tama Tonga hits a splash on the Sonata. Sonata hits a springboard missile dropkick to Tama. Evil is tagged in. Top row vertical suplex by Evil, followed by a standing moonsault by Sonata. Evil lays out Tonga Loa with a lariat. Sonata puts down Tama Tonga with a back suplex. Sonata locks in skull end on Tonga Loa as Evil locks in a Scorpion Deathlock on the Tama Tonga. Was a really cool spot. Jado then pulls out the referee before either man has a chance to tap out. Jado comes in the ring and strikes Evil with the kendo stick. Bushi comes down and sprays Jado with a miss and hits him with the kendo stick, and then hits a suicide dive on the Jado on the outside. The referee comes back in. L.I.J. goes for Magic Killer on the Tama Tonga. Tama kicks Sonata and then rolls up Evil while pulling the tights for the victory. G.O.D. retain the championships. Too sweet. Next, randomly, out comes Katsuyori Shibata. And for some reason, I was thinking, okay, is this like a return or something? No, obviously, at this point, Shibata's not coming back to wrestling. And he's pointing to the top of the stage, and it's kind of awkward for how long he's pointing to the top of the stage, because this is a very long period of time. And then out comes Kenta, and I'm like, oh my god, business just picked up. Okay, I want to clear something up right now. For everyone saying that Kenta's back home, Kenta is a Pro Wrestling Noah regular. Okay, that was his home. That was his home for many years. He worked like a couple New Japan shows here and there. Pretty sure most of them were crossover shows. He was not a New Japan regular. This is new for Kenta. Okay, so don't say, oh, Kenta's back home. No, he's not. Thank you. The crowd, at first the crowd couldn't see him, but then when he came to like the point of the stage where Shibata was, the crowd went nuts. He grabs the mic and says, New Japan Pro Wrestling fans, my name is Kenta. He wants to thank Shibata for the opportunity. I want to come out, he says, I want to come out here to tell you what I really feel. He says he wants to show the crowd Kenta's professional wrestling. And he says he will do it in the G1 Climax. Then he hands the mic to Shibata, and Shibata says, that's it. Guys, listen to how the G1 field already sounds. Kenta, Jon Moxley, Shingo Takagi, hell, maybe even a Will Ospreay in there. Maybe a Liger in there for one more time. Kazuchika Okada. Man, Tetsuya Naito, Kota Ibushi. This is going to be a scary good G1 Climax. Next up, we got the match, which was my favorite match of the night for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Dragon Lee versus Will Ospreay. And man, I have a lot of notes for this match. For the match, we get a handshake between the two. The two start off with big counters as usual. Dragon Lee blasts Ospreay with a dropkick chop from Dragon Lee as he firmly takes control. Enziguri from Ospreay in a top rope 619 as Lee goes to the outside. Plancha by Ospreay on the Dragon Lee. Back in the ring, Ospreay takes control. Spinning back kick by Ospreay. Will gets caught and Lee hits an STO. Ospreay goes for the corner dropkick but misses. Dragon Lee hits a corner basement dropkick followed by a vertical suplex for 2. Ospreay catches Lee with the handspring and Enziguri. Springboard pip pip cheerio for 2. Lee rolls to the outside. Will goes for the Sasuke special. Lee moves and Ospreay lands on his feet. Dragon Lee's V triggers are like, what the hell? Lee hits a V trigger and Ospreay is propped on the barricade in front of the announce table. He goes back in and hits a full speed suicide dive like a bullet that sends Ospreay over the announce table, over the announcers, into almost the crowd with Dragon Lee. Back in the ring, straight jacket German suplex by Lee for 2. Lee sets up Ospreay in the trio. Woa goes up top. Ospreay pops up. Headbutt by Lee puts Ospreay back down. Kick to the head by Ospreay. Lee is on the outside, and Ospreay hits a corkscrew moonsault onto Dragon Lee. Ospreay back in the ring hits a reverse Bloody Sunday for 2. Ospreay goes for the Stormmaker, but it's reversed by Lee into a DDT. Dragon Lee then goes for a full release suplex, but Ospreay reverses that into a stunner. The two meet in the center of the ring, trading blows. Hook kick by Ospreay. Lee goes for a snap German, but Ospreay lands on his feet. V trigger by Lee, followed by a Frankensteiner. Ospreay catches Lee with a Spanish fly for 2. Ospreay on the apron, called by a super kick. Lee clears the ropes and does that Hurricane Rana. but Ospreay lands on his feet on the floor. Ospreay then hits a pop-up power bomb on Dragon Lee onto the apron. Back in the ring, Ospreay hits a shooting star press for 2. Ospreay hits the Robinson special. He goes for the Os Cutter, but is caught by a V trigger into the back. Ospreay is on the apron now and hits an enziguri. He tries going up to the to the ropes and gets caught in the trio while his body's on the outside, and a double stomp by Dragon Lee. Both men back in. V trigger by Dragon Lee. Kick to the back of the head by Ospreay. Dragon Lee then hits a Canadian Destroyer followed by a V trigger for 2. Another nasty V trigger by Lee. Roundhouse kick by Ospreay. Hidden blade by Ospreay. Top rope Os Cutter, but he doesn't let go. And then he hits the Stormbreaker for the 1, 2, 3. Will Ospreay is a 3-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. The 2 hug after the match and embrace, and Dragon Lee, puts the belt around the waist of Ospreay, and they embrace some more. I believe this is the last time we will see Dragon Lee in New Japan for a while, because they did say his deal was to be done around the time of Dominion, so this makes the most sense. Ospreay then goes to the English commentary table, grabs the mic, and says, "You heard it here first. My first challenger will be Robbie Eagles at Summer Showdown in Melbourne, Australia." So you heard it there first. Robbie Eagles, Will Ospreay, Summer Showdown should be a good one. Next up, a match that caused a lot of controversy. Tetsuya Naito versus Kota Ibushi. These two cannot have a bad match. Folks, let's get into it. This is the match I was looking forward to, honestly, the most. We start with the traditional lockup. These two trade wrestling holds until Ibushi nails Naito with a chest kick. Hip toss by Naito, followed by a basement drop kick. Neckbreaker, followed by a full Nelson submission by Naito. These two then trade strikes. Naito was the heel in this match, as he, the crowd was kind of booing him. He has a very, very big love-hate relationship with Osaka. He gets the corner drop kick and then poses, sticking into the crowd. Naito now toying with Ibushi. Irate to Ibushi, really playing up the heel role. Inverted atomic drop. He goes for a drop kick but Ibushi moves and hits a double stomp. Strike combination by Ibushi. Ibushi catches him with the snap rana. Naito rolls to the outside. Corkscrew plancha by Ibushi. Back in the ring, Ibushi goes for a pin but gets a 2 count. Step up enziguri by Naito. Ibushi catches Naito into a half and half suplex. Naito enters with a tornado DDT. Ibushi now on the top rope. Naito goes for a Rana, but is blocked. Ibushi slips out, hits a backflip kick, and Naito falls to the apron. Naito brings Ibushi to the apron. Naito hits a kick and a German suplex on the apron. Ibushi hits his head on the apron with a nasty spot. It was brutal. Ibushi sells it like death. He gets back into the ring at the count of 19. Naito now targeting the neck area of Ibushi. He brings him to the top rope. Naito hits a reverse Rana from the top rope for a 2 count. Destino reversed him to a tombstone by Ibushi. The two are now trading forearms in the ring. Palm strike by Ibushi, followed by a clothesline that flips Naito. He calls for the Bomaye. He misses, and Naito hits a dragon suplex. Running Destino for 2. He goes for Destino but gets caught into a GTS. Last ride powerbomb by Ibushi for 2. Naito catches Ibushi with a plant DDT, swinging reverse DDT by Naito for 2. And then Tetsuya Naito hits a reversed Frankensteiner, targeting the neck area once again. And then he finally hits Destino for the win. Naito is your new IC champion. Making a bold prediction here, Naito wins G1 and he goes to Wrestle Kingdom, the 2-night event, and defeats Kazuchika Okada. That's what I believe will happen. It makes a lot of sense, and the story will now be complete. Okada versus Jericho. Rainmaker versus Painmaker. The two go back and forth, and Okada with the typical start, obviously, you guys know, being chill, pissing off his opponent. Jericho with chops and lays him out with the forearm. Okada fires back, and Jericho goes to the outside. Okada now chasing Jericho back in the ring. Now Okada hits a big boot. Okada on the top rope. He goes for a dropkick, but he is caught on the walls of Jericho. Okada gets out and rolls to the outside. Jericho is now brutalizing Okada in the announce area. Jericho now has Okada on the announce table, hits a DDT on Okada onto the table. Jericho sets up a table on the outside. Back in the ring, Jericho goes to the top rope, hits a crossbody for 2. Back suplex by Jericho. Jericho now slapping and toying with Okada. Dropkick by Jericho. Vertical suplex by Jericho. Okada then fires back. He hits a flapjack. Okada firing back once again with a running elbow. Plant DDT by Okada, and Jericho rolls to the outside. Okada hits Jericho with a boot as Jericho falls over the barricade. He goes for the signature cross body over the barricade, but Okada gets caught with a code breaker. Okada gets back in at the count of 16. Jericho now fires away with chops. Jericho goes for a tombstone, but Okada reverses. Jericho gets out of it and locks on the walls of Jericho again. Okada comes back with a drop kick. Jericho goes to the top rope and goes for a crossbody, but is caught with the signature drop kick by Okada. Okada then hits the tombstone. Jericho reverses the Rainmaker into a butterfly powerbomb. Okada catches Jericho into a neckbreaker for 2. Okada goes to the apron. Jericho hits the triangle dropkick to Okada that knocks him out. Okada then gets back in, hits a top rope elbow, and then signals for the Rainmaker. It's reversed, and Jericho hits an enziguri. The two are now trading strikes. Jericho hits the lion saw for 2. Okada fires back with a shotgun dropkick. Okada firing back now, destroying Jericho with kicks. Jericho hits the codebreaker for 2. Okada with a German, and he hangs on. He goes for a Rainmaker, but is blocked. Okada hits a codebreaker for 2, and then hits the spinning tombstone pile driver. He goes for the Rainmaker, but it's reversed to the walls of Jericho. Jericho moves it into the Lion Tamer. Okada breaks out, and Jericho plants him with the clothesline. He goes for the Judas effect, and it's reversed. Okada then goes for the Rainmaker. It's reversed. Jericho goes for the codebreaker. That's reversed into a roll-up for 3. Yes, an IWGP Heavyweight Championship match ended in a roll-up. Jericho then throws Red Shoes at the ring. He's pissed and beats down Okada. He hits Okada with a steel chair shot to the head. He then hits Okada with the Judas effect and then sits in the ring, gloats about what he just did. He takes Okada to the outside, puts a chair around his head, and throws him into the ring post. Tanahashi leaves the broadcast position and goes after Jericho. Jericho runs away from Tama, and then he grabs the mic and mocks Tanahashi and says that he's the GOAT and he's glad he gets out this BS country called Japan. And he tells Okada, hope you enjoy your championship, B-word. You know, a lot of people were complaining on Twitter about, this happening. I kind of understand why. Maybe New Japan didn't want their guy. I'm not New Japan. AEW didn't want their guy. The guy that's going to be competing for the championship in about a month or 2 at All Out, losing in just straight convincing fashion. Or maybe it was to continue the story between Okada and Jericho. Maybe there'll be a second match. But hopefully we get that Tanahashi and Jericho match. That's a match I really want to see. GOAT versus Ace. Well, alright, folks. This has been the Attitude Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Monday Night Raw review, dropping Monday night around 12 a.m. Hope you guys listened, liked, learned a little bit. Hit that like button. Comment your thoughts. Subscribe. I'm out. Peace.